You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel, folks. It's Monday. I apologize for missing Sunday Night Live. Had a tad of what I would call an emergency. Emergency taken care of, well in hand. And now let's kind of get back to the show. I'll substitute a day this week for Sunday Night Live, and yeah, it kind of covers next weekend as well, right? We've got Christmas coming up. I tell you, folks, while we slept, all kinds of things happened, right? Shit has hit the fan. They're fighting to take over the country. They're fighting to take over the world. And I know that we weren't asleep at the wheel. You and I, we were paying attention. The rest of the world, they were sleeping. They truly were. And look where we're at now because they didn't pay attention. Right? Everyone else slept, but does that excuse us from our responsibility? No, it really doesn't, right? It doesn't. We are responsible for everything in ourselves, even if the rest of the world is asleep. But that'll be a discussion for another day. For right now, let's talk about what is going on that is seriously SHTF worthy. And that is what is happening between Russia, Europe, and the United States of America. And in the background, there is China, essentially at this point, a silent player. The rest of the world is asleep at the wheel, and we are rushing headlong into World War III. A lot of times, I think that we, as people, tend to look at serious history as events that occurred. Right? The sinking of the Lusitania didn't happen in one moment. It required a naval vessel being given a set of orders. That vessel stocked with food, munitions, and personnel, and then turned loose on the world. The consequences of that, all those decisions, was eventually, right, the Lusitania was sank. World War II was not December 7th when the decisions were made. No, the decisions were not made on December 7th. That's when the action happened. All the decisions happened while the world was asleep. There were people who suspected and feared that World War II would break out and the U.S. would join it. Most people were asleep at the wheel. They were just asleep. Now, where are we at today? Well, in today's world, the United States of America is flirting with World War III and Russia. Russia decided over the weekend that they were going to show the world their ICBMs, which are missiles. Now, when I grew up, the phrase ICBM brought horror and fear, right, to our minds. Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, ICBM. It means it could be fired from anywhere on the planet, and it could go to the other side of the planet. Essentially, it's a space rocket with a nuclear weapon, or weapons if they're MIRVs. Multiple entry vehicle, blah, blah, blah. In other words, packing a dozen nuclear warheads in the top of one space rocket, an ICBM. So Russia, who's tired of being screwed with, decided they're going to start parading their intercontinental ballistic missiles in response to the United States government thinking it's a keen idea to give Patriot missiles to a bunch of, I don't even know how to say this, to a military that is run by a tyrant. Would the United States government, if they had it at the time, would they have wanted to give Adolf Hitler Patriot missiles? Right? No, you don't give tyrants weapons of this caliber. But that's what they're considering doing in Russia, seeing the threat that they face because of this, are saying no. Right? We're going to show you our intercontinental ballistic missiles. Meaning that's a threat. It's a retaliatory threat. It's a retaliatory response. They do not want that next to them, and they've been threatening all along. So the severity of this, is this a chess move? Is this a little chess game? Or is this far more serious than the world would have the common man believe? Well, once again, folks, we have not spy versus spy, but let's just say evil versus evil. We have the old guard versus the new old guard, because they're all a bunch of old assholes at the World Economic Forum. But Henry Kissinger, who has literally been in charge of, well, affairs of state for the old Illuminati, has been during the Nixon administration, folks, Nixon administration. And that is 1970 to 74, that time frame, 71, 74. Right? Kissinger is saying that we need to negotiate peace with Russia. The fear is nuclear annihilation. The rest of the World Economic Forum, the new Illuminati, don't want that. They're willing to risk nuclear war. Why? They're still all a bunch of old white men from various ethnic minorities. But nonetheless, folks, a bunch of old men who are incredibly rich, powerful, and don't mind playing dice with our lives and our world. So why would Kissinger come back out again? Well, is this a show for the world to fool us into thinking that some of the World Economic Forum, they're the good guys, right? They're the cadre of patriots who love law and order? Yeah, fucking laughable, right? Or is this truly like, the evil villains inside their evil lair are fighting amongst themselves to see who gets to control world events? Are these arrogant bastards in the World Economic Forum, the Illuminati, are they so arrogant, right, that they don't think that they can start World War III with nuclear missiles and weapons because of their actions? Well, they're pretty damn arrogant. They've already unleashed their, quote, pandemic, quote, and then forced the world to the best of their ability to take the Jim Jones juice, which has had every negative effect we have feared except turning people into living, drooling zombies. And that's still, folks, the jury is still out on that occurring. They're fighting amongst themselves, folks, for control of us, for control of a system that has taken them, well, frankly, not just decades, but centuries to put in place. And they want control, folks. They want control of all of us and everything and owning everything so much that these arrogant bastards, and yeah, I'll use the term arrogant again, these arrogant bastards believe that they can tell us that we will own nothing and will be happy, that we're going to eat bugs and excrement and even other humans, human flesh. Yeah, they're now fighting amongst themselves to see who gets to control and own it all. I think someone like Henry Kissinger probably is a little more astute in understanding the risk of nuclear war and how you don't win one, even if you think you've won one. Maybe he's just old enough to figure that shit out, while the younger ones have some other thought process going on. But they're older than me. They should know better. They should, but they don't. They're that evil, folks. And the world doesn't seem to get it. You know, it's supposed to be a time of love and joy and hope, the Christmas season. It's supposed to be, right? So I still have my hope and my faith, but good golly, I'm prepared. I'll try and make it tonight for the next discussion. We'll make up Sunday Night Live. We'll do it maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. So stand by for that. We're going to play it by ear. It's going to be one heck of a rough week and Christmas for us all. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed. God bless. Merry Christmas.